Look who's here. Finally, after having her on the air for a year.
Look at that.
The Big Biz Plan Babe and the Big Biz Babe. Ellen Rohr in studio. Oh my goodness. How are you, girl?
I'm so excited to be here. Hi, you take a picture?
Emma, it's a video, babe.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Show me love. Right over
She
here.
is kind of a babe, though, isn't she?
Look at her. I love that.
My goodness.
Sassy. I'm going to go sassy.
I'm having so much fun.
One element?
You're so much more handsome in person.
Huh? Oh, stop
Well,
yourself. Look at that.
there's 3 cameras on us, and each camera puts on 30 pounds. So,
And the internet adds
much better
20.
person.
So we're actually 50 pounds bigger.
heavier on TV.
No, you're leaning me in from your bike race.
That looks good. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're an exerciser, aren't you?
I am an exerciser.
What do you do?
I ran a half marathon.
When?
2
Today?
weeks ago, Philadelphia.
Really? Now, where do you make your home?
In Missouri.
In Missouri.
But I travel a lot, and
I
I'm so
guess.
happy to be. And I went to school here.
Of course. We allegedly
right.
dated at a USD
A long
or
time
something.
ago.
Wow.
They didn't call it dating.
No.
If you know what I mean.
I got you.
I don't remember that.
All right,
but
move
I'm
on, you
so
two.
happy we
What
did.
happened, Tickle?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
Something was in my throat.
Get a room.
Okay. Ellen, how are you? First of all, let's
great.
throw up Ellen's website, would you, for me,
Yay.
Curtis, so we can talk. She wrote, first of all, it's barebonesbiz.com. And,
Yeah, baby.
And you wrote the Weekend Biz Plan, which is a terrific book. I want you to explain, for people that don't know you, explain that for us.
Well, I've written a few books on how to put a business plan together. And people think of business planning like dieting, like no fun. I should eat more vegetables. I should do a business plan.
Yes.
And you should.
Yeah, but I make it really fun and easy.
Okay.
And my books keep getting thinner with pictures in them because business is not all that tough. So the Weekend Biz Plan is about clarifying what you really, really want and putting a little action plan together for
Okay, so
making it happen.
is this let's say, and I think the first thing I ever talked to you about was the fact that between 2008 and 2011, more people have had to reinvent themselves with starting businesses and going to school.
Yeah.
So now this is stop talking about it and do it.
Yeah, well, and most businesses are family businesses. So most people are either working for a family business or involved in a kooky family business, or like you guys, like family.
Like family.
Like family.
Russell's got a cuckoo nutty cocoa snack business.
Do you?
Yeah.
Lord Russell's
Kids employed,
Oh, yeah.
Lord Russell's Credit Crunch.
Yeah, hopefully you can trust these people and you can yell at them when they're not at work. That's
Yeah,
another
but
good
what
thing.
happens with divorce and disaster and changes? Demi and Ashton
Yeah.
used to be in
look at
business
that.
together.
Oh,
I brought a
now
little
they're
prop.
not.
No, they're not. But what happens to the family business? Can you get divorced? Can you stay in business? Can you fire your husband and not get divorced?
No, if you're in business when you're married and you get a divorce, you're still in business.
You might, well, you're still in business, but you might want
State
to
of
put a little
California,
game
I
plan
can
together.
promise you that you are.
Yeah.
My wheels spin. Yeah, we have written proof right here.
You know about that.
so-
Okay. So I think you should treat the family business like a game. Now we're full on into football season. I brought some
Does
props.
that football say Napa?
Sure does.
Russ, Napa Auto Parts.
Yeah.
Get the
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Zach, for the appropriate
wide open.
football. Oh, here you go. Okay.
All right. So we've got. So what's the football signify?
Well, let's use some football analogies, although I'm sorry to hear about the Chargers recently.
Yeah,
Listen,
thanks.
that's
Rub that
everything.
in.
Start
I
talking
know.
about that.
Okay.
One more day, I
Hit
would
with
have been over it.
Here, put this in some
Stick the
water
damn
and
football.
freeze it so we can throw it at our
You ever
guests.
tell a story?
Okay.
You ever tell a story about my mom and dad? Said I busted so much stuff. As a kid, they said, "Here, take a Nerf football. You won't hurt anybody." So I dumped it in water and I froze it.
Perfect.
Broke the lamp and Aunt Gazilda's eye.
Well, there you go. Now let me ask you: how many quarterbacks are on the field?
One.
One. And so in a
Well, when
family
the Chargers are
business,
playing, none.
Yeah.
well, okay. I'm sorry about Mr. Rivers. So
Focus.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But there can only be one, and even if he's not doing well, the idea is we have to follow somebody's lead. And a family business is the same way. There's not room for 2 quarterbacks on the field. There's not room for 2 at the top. So
How do you
one.
reconcile that, though? This is how do you
divorced,
reconcile
Bob.
that?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm talking about in a business, though. Let's say you've got 2 alpha males.
Yeah.
And you've got one guy's an idea guy, one guy's an organizational guy, and both of them want to run it. How do you get through that?
Well, if you can think about that, and that's why it's good to be listening or watching today. If you can think about that before disaster strikes, it is going to be an issue. I promise you it'll be an issue. So do a little retreat. Go away for the weekend, turn off the phones, and decide who's going to be the last guy to make the call.
Let's do a little retreat here, Russ.
Okay.
Who's going to make the call?
And you've got the bubbly, right, to celebrate your big plan.
All right.
It's snowing in the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's got to make a call. So an organizational chart's a good idea. Now, if you're a good leader, what you'll do is assign positions and honor people. If you're going to be the marketing director, you're going to be the financial manager, that we honor and respect those positions. But somebody has to be the cheese or the quarterback, and there's only room for one.
I vote Curtis.
Okay, you're in.
I vote Millionaire Curtis is the cheese of this entire thing. Ellen Rohr's our guest. She
Yay.
wrote the book. the Weekend Biz Plan. And you can go to her website, barebonesbiz.com. We're going to spend some more time with her. Let me stack the commercials here so we can spend the rest of the hour with her and hang out with her. Because I can tell you this, you're going to learn more in the next 15 minutes than you probably have in the last couple of years. And her DVD series, Is There a Business in You?
Hold up that
There's
other
a black
book.
bean burrito and rust, but other than that, I don't think there's a business.
For longer. Anytime a guest and their book match in color.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's
Electric,
nice.
baby. Television.
Russ and Sully, Big Biz Show, BigBizShow.com, CBS, ABC, Armed Forces, Biz Television, 44 million cable TV homes strong. Stand by. We're back after the break.
This is the Big Biz Show. No steroids, no MSG, but one of them's eating Lipitor. Stop. Here's Russ and Sully.
Big Biz Show, BigBizShow.com. Phone lines are open, 855-444-BIG-BIZ, 855-444-2442. A special hello to the military men and women serving overseas and underway. God bless you for what you do on our Armed Forces Radio Network, 175 countries and all the ships at sea. We're interviewing just a wild man tomorrow for Armed Forces Radio. I don't remember who it is, but just trust me. No, actually, let me see who it is. This is...
But he's wild.
Yeah, his name is... well, he wrote a book called Camouflage Killer. How's that?
Good.
Yeah, so he's a cooking guy.
Yeah, I've got
It's
some
a cooking
holiday
show.
I've got some holiday plans.
It's about knitting in the field. We'll have that for tomorrow. Brought to you by Prudential. Let Prudential be your
rock
for retirement. Also brought to you by Bayer Advance. Better science, better results.
Better believe it.
Starbucks Coffee, Napa Auto Parts, Honifas Furniture, Outback Steakhouse, Akitso, and of course, WazilloMedia.com. Thank you, friends. Big Biz Show on the air. There we go. Ellen Rohr's in the house. Ellen Rohr, the big
house.
Bare bones Big Biz babe.
Not only is she in the house, but she's also occasionally in the big house.
So tell us, on the break, show us that thing you showed. Show the camera.
I brought my business plan.
Look at
that looks like the saddle to a Harley.
It is a leather, satchel
This is
thing.
a product made by a couple of business owners. This is what happens when a tattoo artist and a leather worker get together.
It's kind of like
this
a
is my
Reese's
business
peanut
plan.
butter cup of
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, of
isn't it?
business.
Other than making these, what do they just put tattoos on elderly people?
Well, there's a lot of tattoos in
Yeah.
prison, I'll tell you
I
that.
bet.
Well, see, yeah, they either make
This
that or license plates. So they figure that would be better, right?
Is this the business they run from the prison, custom made?
This one they do. This
So,
one they run
for
from
our
the
listeners
prison.
and viewers that didn't get that part of the conversation,
Yeah.
I'm not currently in prison.
You teach prisoners about business.
Yes, and it's the same concept.
Import-export type things?
They know a lot about
Manufacturing.
Business. Yep. They are very entrepreneurial. And so we're looking for some legitimate ways for them to express those entrepreneurial gifts.
Now, are you teaching people that are about to get out so they can...
Some of them are, and some
so
of them
so
aren't.
Dahmer's not in that class then?
Right.
I don't ask them what they're in for.
Oh, no kidding.
No.
You don't want to know, though,
I
do
don't
you?
want to know.
Can you tell
And I
them?
love them. And they don't complain. And some of them are getting ready to be released. These guys have a rockin' business from prison.
What's their business?
The name of the
Are they
business
creating-
is
are they
called
creating-
Creative Touch.
Are they
Creative
creating
Touch.
those? Is that what they're making?
Yeah, they do leather work, all kinds of customized leather work. They're just nice to me.
Now, how do
made
they
me
do
my
it from
binder.
prison? How do they import-export the leather and all that stuff?
And where
Well,
did their checks
they're
go?
actually a legit one. They have to work it through the system, and their family can get the money. So
Oh,
it
I
does
see.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they put business plans together. Like I brought mine because I wanted to show it
They
off
put
to you.
business plans together.
They put business plans together, and they follow the Bare Bones Biz Plan system. And Good Sandwiches is another one. And
Good Sandwiches.
Yeah.
we've got Sunshine Landscaping, and some of these guys are ready to be released. But here's the deal: they're not going to be very hireable. So they are going to be released. Can we start to?
But if they're not
help the
hireable,
poor
though, then why
problem?
not start your own business?
That's what
then?
she's saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
nailed it.
That's
Jeez,
why I'm in
I
business.
just got here.
That's perfect.
I just showed up.
Welcome
here
to the show,
program.
Bob. Yeah.
All right. So tell. I see you got a little certificate there. What is that all about?
Well, we're going back to the football analogy. Let's make business like a game. Family businesses need help. My entrepreneurial buddies in the big house need some help.
Yeah.
But one thing that a pro ball player will do is they've got to sign a contract. Here's one of the issues that I find with business owners, family business owners in particular, is that they got one foot in, one foot out all the time. Should I be in this business? It's driving me crazy. I'm not making any money
Yeah.
all day long.
Sure.
They're
Yeah.
vacillating, right? So if you're a pro ball player, you sign a commitment.
So-
I'm going to be in. So I'm going to suggest that as a business owner right now, you say, are you in for 2012? Are you in
Right.
for the first 6 months? And commit to it. Write it down.
Now, do you do that for yourself? You do that for your employees? You do that for?
I would think at least for the owners. At least for the owners.
Yeah.
So that the owners, have said, I'm not going to say, I'm in, I'm out, I'm going to vacillate every day. If June 30th is our D-Day for deciding, then let's just lay it all on the playing field between then and now.
Does this, you find this happens when people that own their own business, they never get off work. There's no 5 o'clock.
Well, that's the difference between a small businessman and an entrepreneur. A small businessman just created 80 hours a week for himself. An entrepreneur gets to go on vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. You can create an 80-hour-a-week job and be a small business person, or you can be entrepreneurial and create something that throws off mailbox.
I think it's important to say, okay, work's done. Let me go, to a kid's game or something. That's what I'm saying.
You can't do that.
But you have to schedule your kids' game.
You have to schedule, and that's another in your bare bones business plan. You do want to have a calendar, and you do want to lay out when you're going to work and when you're going to be off. I've told you the story about my husband's partner once upon a time. Worked himself to death at age 33. Yeah. The last words he said to me are, "If I don't do it myself, it'll never get done." Yeah. You know what? He died, and it got done.
Yeah.
We're not that important, and so you can create some boundaries.
Good. I had the right mindset all along.
The name of the book is The Weekend Biz Plan.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, and people can pick it up at barebonesbiz.com.
And it helps if you wear purple when you read it.
I love that.
Tell us about so now you got these people that are listening and watching, and they're all jacked up about wanting to start a business at this point. So now their commitment levels in place. What are the next couple of things they have to do? Because
here's what I do is a little bit of a retreat. Usually we just jump in, and before you know it, you're on that hamster wheel of working 80 hours a week. And so what about the end of the year is a great time for reflection. Farm out old kids and little kids if you're in charge of people, right? And lock yourself in a hotel room, no phones, whoever the owners are, and commit to putting a business plan together. Now, this is mine. It's all, tabbed
leather bound.
Leather bound. It's very attractive.
Very cool.
But it's tabbed up. And if
now do you go, is that a living document? Do you go through that all the time?
Never done. And so if you spend one weekend putting a business plan together and someone asks you from there on out, do you have a business plan? You say, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because it's never finished. But now this moves it from thought to form.
Right. Yeah.
And we're clear on what we want. And we have a game plan for making it happen.
No kidding.
What I suggest is that you ask the big questions, and they're going to be, what are we going to do for this business?
Yeah.
Why should this business exist?
Right.
Who's going to do what? Lay out the org chart, the team players, right? Commit to
what
that.
What about cutting your deal? What about the money thing? That has to be discussed, right?
How much?
Who gets what?
And who gets what? Absolutely. How much are you going to charge?
Yeah.
Those are all business planning questions.
Yeah.
And then by jotting down your answers and then testing them, here's how you know your business is working.
Okay.
You're making money.
Yeah, no kidding.
Business is so easy. Are you making money? Do you have cash? Are you having fun? Yeah, now you're winning.
Her
The
name,
game plan can help.
Ellen Rohr.
I'm booking the room
Finally.
right now, Bob.
Are you booking it?
When you come into San Diego?
Can I treat lunch today?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
happy to buy lunch.
Love
for
to
you.
have you.
Look at that.
She's actually going to be shooting a pilot here today.
I
For the Biz
am.
Television
With Troy Hazard, who has one of the greatest names on.
Roy.
Yeah,
does. And an
Roy.
accent, too.
That's it. All right, hour number 2 coming up next. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back on. Good stuff. Russ and Sully, Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com.